Good morning, students. Namaskar, Suprabhat, Suswagatam in our today's income tax class. So I am C. Ankit Sharma, your income tax faculty for the session. And today we will be discussing the provision of salaries. This is session 2 for salary topic. In case of salary provisions, we have discussed the basic concept like what is regarded as salary. When there is a payer and payee, and if the payment does fulfill the relationship of employer and employee, that means master and servant relationship, then the payment would be regarded as your salary income. There would be four main components to calculate the salary income. First would be basic salary, advance salary, area of salary, bonus, commission, etc. Then there are taxable allowances. Then there would be taxable perquisites, and there would be compensation or profit in lieu of salary. In these components, we have discussed the first component and we were discussing the second point, that was taxable allowances. So I believe you must have revised the provision, what we have discussed in the first session. Okay. So let me see if there is any query, etc. Kuldeep, good morning. Linga, good morning. Adil, good morning. Good morning. Mujahid, good morning. Ajay, good morning. Santosh, good morning. Neeraj. Good morning, Shamli. Good morning, Lakshmi. Shireen is saying good morning. Uddiben is saying good morning. Uh, Shalini is saying good morning. Lakshmi is having some queries. I need some clarity in remuneration section 10.6.12. Second, for an ambassador in our country is exempt only if our ambassador in their country is exempt, and he should not engage in any business profession in India. Do I understand correctly? Yes, exactly. That is the concept of that exemption, because it's a two-way relationship. If they will not going to tax our ambassador remuneration in their country, then the exactly same we are going to do. And that ambassador should not done any business or profession in the other country or in our country also. So that is exactly, you have understood correctly. Point C of remuneration is section 10.6.16 to get exempt. Remuneration received by foreign employee should be paid by foreign employer, and it should not be paid by our, of course, because the person who has been appointed as an ambassador in our country, the government on behalf of which he is working, that is liable to pay the remuneration or salary or whatever amount to that person. We are not going to pay anything to ambassador of other country, and same vice versa in respect of our ambassador who were appointed in the other countries. Exactly correct. You have understood. Riddhiben is saying, sir, will salary of partner will be calculated under this head as it is credited to partner's capital account? No. We have discussed that in case of partnership firm and the partner of that firm, the relationship of employer, employee, master, servant does not exist. So if any salary paid to the partner of a firm would be taxed under business head of that partner, not as salary income. That is going to be discussed in detail under PGBP head. So Peace is saying good morning. Good morning. So good morning, everyone, once again. So before starting the class, as usual, there is a thought for the day for all of you. And it says, tough times never last. In your life, there must be struggle. When you would be in any phase of your life, there would be problems. Like when you were in 11, 12, your board examination, then you must be feeling that that's a difficult time, but you have gone through it. So if you have that courage, if you are working hard, if you are sincere, then the tough times will never last. It would come in your life again and again, but you will definitely going to come over it. So in this situation, your tough time is to become a chartered accountant. But I believe that if you are tough enough, then you would clear this struggle. You will overcome whatever struggle or things is going to be come in your way, and you will be a CA very soon. Okay, so that was a thought for all of you. Back to the provisions. Archana is saying good morning. Good morning, everyone, once again to all of you. So moving ahead, in last class, I did not give you any homework because ma'am was there. So today I will give you homework also regarding salary topic, and we will discuss MCQ also. I got your feedback also, and we will do some interaction also, and would try to solve some past year questions also. Okay. So moving ahead, we were discussing the salary topic, in which these basic things which has been discussed already, and we were discussing the allowances part. In the allowances part, okay, so there are three kinds of allowances, what we were discussing. There were allowances, those are going to be fully taxable under both region. So there would be some allowances, those are going to be fully taxable under both region, optional as well as default tax region. So what are these allowances? That would be categorized as, suppose A, and suppose this is B and this is C. So I have discussed that if does not fall in B and C, that would be part of A. Out of these allowances, we have discussed the starting allowances. HRA provisions has been discussed by us with an example also. We were on special allowances. Out of these special allowances, the starting three allowances, traveling, conveyance, etc., that is partially exempted under both regime. And these three allowances are partly exempted as per the provision, of course, under only optional regime. The exemption would be on this basis: amount of allowance received or amount utilized for official purpose. The minimum, the lower of these two is going to be exempted and balance is going to be taxed. That also has been discussed. Then there are some allowances under section 1014(2). And a good thing is there that out of these multiple allowances, there are 3-4 important allowances, in my opinion, which could be asked in the examination. And the bad news is there are multiple amounts and rates, so it's difficult to learn all of them. But you just go through one. Those are important. I have marked it, but it does not mean that other could not be asked or other is not going to be asked in the examination. You have to read all of them. But I believe the range allowances, these are multiple, so it would be difficult to learn for students. So those allowances, those are certain having some kind of importance, is going to be asked out of these allowances. Like you have to go and read. These are allowances based on some specific criteria. Any special compensatory allowance in the nature of a special compensatory hilly areas allowance or high altitude allowance or uncognizable climate allowance, etc. So 800 or 300 depending upon a specified location, 7,000 in per month in Siachen area of Jammu and Kashmir. So these are the limits which has been prescribed. You can go through it. But this one is important. This is for transport company employees. So there is one allowance that's called transport allowance. So that is different. But this point number 4, that is any allowance granted to an employee working in any transport system. So this is a transport allowance to any transport employee. So those are different concept. If it is a normal transport allowance, then we have discussed it. If it's a blind or orthopedically handicapped person, then 30 to 100 rupees per month is exempted under both region. If it is a normal employee of normal organization, it is not exempted. Like we can understand it in this way with the help of a small diagram. So transport allowance provision. So either the employee would be a other than transport company employee. So if that employee who is receiving transport allowance is an employee of an other than transport company, normal organization employee. So if it is like, then in that case, if it is a normal employee, then 100% taxable. Whatever amount of transport allowance he is receiving, that is going to be taxed completely. But if it is in handicapped, in that situation, 3,200 rupees per month could be exempted. There's a fixed limit. Whatever amount he is getting, up to 3,200 rupees per month, or the amount of allowance, whichever is lower, is going to be exempted. But suppose, what if that transport allowance has been received by a transport company employee? If it has been received by a transport company employee, then there could be two situations. If he is receiving transport allowance but not receiving daily allowance. So a daily allowance also we have discussed under special allowance category. There were 6 allowances: traveling allowances, conveyance allowance, uniform allowance, and one is daily allowance. So if a transport company employee is not receiving daily allowance, he is receiving transport allowance and other allowances. He should not receive transport and daily allowance simultaneously together. If he's receiving both transport allowance as well as daily allowance, then the provision would be changed. But if out of these two allowance, he's only receiving transport allowance, then the exemption would be 70% of allowance received. Whatever amount of allowance he is receiving, 70% of it needs to be taken, or 10,000 rupees per month. Whichever is lower is going to be exempted if he is not receiving daily allowance. Now, what if he receive transport allowance as well as daily allowance, both? In that situation, transport allowance exemption he can claim like this. And daily allowance is going to be 100% taxable. If he is only receiving daily allowance, then daily allowance is going to be exempted as the provision of special allowances. So when transport allowance is there, then provision is going to be changed like this. This diagram will make you clear that what would we should do when there is transport allowance. So if it is not a transport company, it's very simple to be solved. If a normal employee, full taxable, handicapped, exemption would be there. If that is an employee of a transport company, then if he's not receiving daily allowance, this would be the transport allowance exemption. If he's receiving daily allowance, then provision would be changed slightly. So any allowance granted to an employee working in organization to meet his personal expenditure, 70% of allowance or 10,000 per month. Whichever is lower is going to be exempted. I mentioned that per month, yes. And when this exemption would be there, then such employee is not in receipt of daily allowance. Now there's one more important, children education allowance. So if any employee is getting children education allowance, then 100 rupees per month per child up to maximum of 2 children is exempted. And the exemption should be calculated separately. Any allowance granted to an employee to meet the hostel expenditure of his child. If it is a hostel allowance, this is also important, then this exemption would be 300 rupees per month per child. Up to a maximum of 2 children is going to be exempted. Again, this is normal. You have to read it. Compensatory modified field, any special allowance, under counter insurgency allowance, underground allowance. So if an employee is working at mining site, minings are generally has been undertaken underground. And for that purpose, he is receiving underground allowances. In that case, 800 rupees per month is going to be exempted. Any special these or other allowances, you have to go through it. Allowance prescribed for the purpose of section 1014(2), both regime exemption, that is regarding transport allowance. We have discussed it. If you are not an employee of a transport company and if you are receiving transport allowance, it would be 100% taxable. It would be exempt if the employee is blind, deaf, dumb, or orthopedically handicapped. The exemption would be 30 to 100 rupees per month. And this exemption would fall for both regime, optional as well as default tax regime. Let me see what are the queries. Navneet saying good morning. Okay, good morning, Navneet. No other queries. So now allowances which are fully exempt under optional tax regime. Fully exempt under optional tax regime. There are allowances, very simple to understand. Allowances which are fully exempt only under the optional tax regime. This is allowances to Supreme Court, High Court judge. Kindly go through it. General provision, fully exempted. Allowances received from United Nations Organization, 100% exempted. And sumptuary allowances, these are also exempted in the hands of the receiver. Allowances which are fully exempt under both regime. So this is allowance which is exempted 100% under both regime. And we have discussed this allowance also under chapter number 2 and also in salary topic earlier. That if you are a government employee, you must have remembered, you are a citizen of India, you are working outside India and receiving basic salary, allowances and perquisite. In that case, the allowances and perquisite you are receiving outside India from the government of India is going to be exempted. Only basic salary is going to be taxed. So that provision we have discussed in residential property, residential status chapter also, and we have discussed in this chapter also earlier. Allowance or perquisite paid or allowed as such outside India by government of India to a citizen of India outside India. So all those allowances which has been received outside is going to be 100% exempted under both region. So allowances part has been completed. So technically, if you will see, when we were discussing the salary provision, I have discussed that there are 4 components. First was basic salary, advanced salary, arrear of salary, bonus, etc. commission. The second were taxable portion of allowances that we just have gone through. Third was perquisite and fourth was compensation. So we have done this, we have done this. Now we were going to discuss perquisite in part 2 of salary later, but we are discussing first compensation because perquisites are a lot, multiple perquisites. So we just want to finish basic provisions, allowances and compensation. In the part 2, there are only perquisites we need to be discussed. So what is compensation? Compensation generally means what an employee receives at a time of termination or after completion of his service duration, like pension, provident fund money, gratuity, leave encashment, retrenchment compensation, as such. So these are the compensation which generally you receive after employment, the time of termination, etc. And these are generally one-time payment, except pension. Pension is a payment which we receive monthly generally also, but all other compensation, those are going to be received, are generally one-time time. 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 Rachana is saying, can you show the transport allowance chart? I will take a screenshot. We are on YouTube, Archana. You can scroll back. You can pause that video. You can take the screenshot. Okay. Kuldeep is asking, sir, amount received under VRS also compensation? Yes, it is also a compensation. We will discuss VRS provision also here. That is voluntarily retirement scheme. Miss Riddhi Ben is asking, sir, AOP and BOI earning will be calculated under which head? It does not depend what person you are. It depends upon the activities. If AOP and BOI doing any business, then that income is going to be taxed as business income. If they are earning income from transfer of capital asset, then it would be capital gain income. If they are having a property on which they are receiving rent, that would be income from house property. So the question what you are asking with the Ben is not correct. It depends what nature of income you are earning. Then it's going to be taxed in that respective head of income. So whether you are an AOP, BOI, individual HUF, it would not decide in which head income is going to be taxed. It depends upon the nature of income. Accordingly, it's going to be taxed in the hands of any person. So pension. Concise Oxford Dictionary defines pension as a periodic payment. Periodic matlab which we receive periodically, matlab monthly, etc. Made especially by government or a company or other employers to the employee in consideration of past service payable after his retirement. So it is after retirement generally we receive, and it is for your past service what you have been provided to the employer. If received during the service, let me tell you a universal rule. If any kind of compensation, it's very important, please listen it very carefully. If any kind of compensation, whether it's gratuity, whether it's pension, whether it's VRS, etc., if any compensation received during service, look, practically it does not receive during service. But if in the examination, if in the question, it has been given, then suppose pension or gratuity, etc., has been received during service or a part of it has been received during service. That means before retirement. That universal rule, that part is going to be taxed 100% in case of all employees. It is fully taxable in case of all employees. Understood? So type of pension, there are two kinds of pension what we are going to receive. First is uncommuted pension. Uncommuted matlab which we receive monthly. Periodical payment. It is called uncommuted. Commuted mean lump sum payment. So which is not lump sum. That would be called as uncommuted pension. So uncommuted pension refer to pension received periodically. It is fully taxable in the hands of both government and non-government employees. Understood? Commuted pension is just vice versa. Let me explain you the concept of pension with the help of a diagram. So you will understood all the provision at one place. I have also prepared chart for salary allowances provisions, compensation provision, etc. So we will discuss with that also later. First of all, we have to understand the provision. So that is pension. So pension, of course, or any other compensation, universal rule, if received during service, that is 100% taxable for all employees. Clear? If it is received after service, then there would be two kind of pension. It is received after service. In that situation, if you are a government employee, sorry, that would be uncommuted, and that could be commuted. So if it is an uncommuted pension, again, it is 100% taxable for all employees. If it is commuted pension, in that case, if it is a government employee, receive these pension, these are exempted, not going to be taxed. If it is other employees, then there would be two situations. It says either that employee also received gratuity. Now, what is gratuity, etc.? We will discuss that topic after pension. But in the question, it has been mentioned that that employee either received gratuity also or not. So, gratuity either received or no gratuity received. There would be two situations. You can see till now, there is no calculation required. Like in this case, 100% taxable. In this case, 100% taxable. In this case, 100% exempted. So no calculation yet. The calculation part would be only in other category. So the provision says, if you are other employee and receive commuted pension, then there would be two situations, whether you have also received gratuity at the time of retirement or you did not receive any gratuity. So if you received gratuity, then exemption would be 1/3 into commuted value of whole pension. You have to find out the commuted value of whole pension, and 1/3 of it is going to be exempted. If it is no gratuity received, then the portion would be 1/2 into commuted value of whole pension. So this will remain the same in both cases, just the percentage is going to be changed. Technically, in this case, 33.33% is going to be exempted, and this case, 50% is going to be exempted. Now, I believe you must have a question in your mind that what is this commuted value of whole pension? So we have also a formula to find out the commuted value of whole pension. How to find out commuted value of whole pension? Let me give you an example. Suppose at the time of retirement, your pension has been decided 10,000 rupees per month. And you have retired on 1st January 2026. So the employee has been retired on 1st January 2026. And the pension was 10,000 rupees per month. That is going to be finalized. But out of this 10,000 per month, employee says that 40% of this pension, that means 4,000 rupees per month, the 40% of this pension I need in lump sum. 10,000 rupees per month was the pension. He can receive that pension for next few years, 5 years, 10 years, till whatever duration. But employees say, no, I don't want 10,000 rupees per month as a pension. Out of this 10,000 rupees per month, I need accumulated value of this 10,000 40% portion at once. Suppose this is your pocket money. 10,000 per month has been decided as your pocket money for next 10 years. But you asked your parents that the 40% of this 10,000, that would be 4,000 rupees per month, till the 10 year, whatever amount it would be, I need that part at once. And balance I will take monthly. So that percentage would be given in the question. Suppose the question says employee asks 40% of this pension as commuted value. That means that lump sum. An employer paid, suppose, 4 lakh rupees as computed value of that pension. So now this is 40% is computed value of your pension. And that is 4 lakh equivalent to that is going to be given in the question. Now for the purpose of exemption, suppose no gratuity received. And now you have to calculate the exemption. So in case of exemption, because no gratuity received, so that exemption would be 1 by 2 multiplied. अब हमें क्या चाहिए? We need commuted value of whole pension. So can you tell me, if 40% is 4 lakh, what would be the commuted value of whole pension? Can you tell me the answer? It's a simple mathematical question. Income tax not doing anything. You just need to tell, if 40% is 4 lakh, then what would be the commuted value of whole pension? Neeraj is saying 10 lakh. Adil is saying 10 lakh. Smart students you all are, of course. Nagaraja is saying 10 lakh. Mustafa is saying 10 lakh. Aditya is saying 16 lakh. How it is this? Aditya, 1 lakh 60,000. How? Prerna is saying 10 lakh. Linga is saying 10 lakh. Riddhi Ben is saying 10 lakh. Naveen is saying 10 lakh. Anyone else who is not saying 10 lakh? Shamli is saying 10 lakh. Shalini also said 10 lakh. Very good. Santosh, Achitya, Aditya is saying 40 lakh, 40%. Aditya, it's normal unitary method. If 40% is equivalent to 4 lakh, then what would be the full value? How we find it out? Golty analyst saying, sir, we have to consider 4 lakhs, sir. So it's a simple method. If 40% equal to 4 lakh, and as per the formula, we need the commuted value of whole pension. Whole pension means total pension, that 100% value of the pension. So we just receive 40% of my pension, which is equivalent to 4 lakh. So what would be my total pension? We just need to find out. So that would be, of course, 4 lakh, 40% equivalent. Total value would be 10 lakh rupees. As simple as that. Very simple. Now, if commuted value of whole pension is 10 lakh rupees, if commuted value of whole pension is 10 lakh rupees, then now I can find out the exemption. A very interesting thing is about to come. So please be very careful. I'm going to ask one more question. Okay, so if in this example, so in every question, they will provide you this percentage and the value. You just need to find out the total commuted value. And it's very, very simple. Fifth class student would be able to find it easily. So the exemption would be now 5 lakh. Understood? And now suppose the exemption is 5 lakh. And if in this question, if gratuity has already received, then this exemption would be 1 by 3 into 10 lakh. So that would be 3,33,337. Understood? Chalo. One more question, just like that. Fine, don't do mistake in this. Now one more question. Suppose retirement, at retirement time, the pension has been decided 20,000 rupees per month. Retirement has been done on 1st November 2025. Employees say, I need 25% of my pension value in lump sum right now. So, employer provided 20 lakh rupees as 25% of commuted value of pension. Now, gratuity also received. Gratuity also received. Now, the exemption formula would be 1 by 3 into commuted value of whole pension. So, what would be the commuted value of whole pension in this example? Okay, let me. Commuted value of whole pension would be, of course, 80 lakh rupees. As simple as that. And the exemption would be 26 lakh 66,000, something like that. I hope it's clear now. How we will going to find out the exemption? Last question. Now we are solving a detailed question of pension. It's not that simple. It's not that easy. So now we will solve this example. Suppose Mr. A retired on 1st November 2025. Pension decided 10,000 rupees per month. On 1st January 2026, he decided to receive commuted value of pension, which is 20% equivalent to 3 lakh, or just make it not 20, we are taking it like 60% is 3 lakh. Now we have to find out the taxable pension. Now the example which is going to be asked would be like this in the examination. But now you will very carefully see that he retired in November 2025. If the question asks you to find out the taxable value of pension, we have to find out the taxable value of pension. In that scenario, in November, how much he is going to receive? 10,000 rupees. And that is going to be taxed because it's a uncommuted pension. The commutation part would be done in January, but in November, you have to tax the full value of pension, 10,000 rupees. In December also, 10,000 is going to be taxed. Clear? Now in January, February, and March. Till March, we have to calculate till the end of the financial year. So now, if anyone has received 60% of his 10,000 as commuted value, if someone has received 60% of his pension in lump sum, then how much left for receiving that pension as per month? If out of this 10,000 rupees per month pension, I have received 60% of that pension in lump sum. So now in the future, that means from January onwards, I have received 3 lakh rupees as lump sum value, which is 60% of my 10,000. So now in future, from January onwards, I will get only 40% of my total pension amount as uncommuted pension. In November, I have received full. In December, I have received full. But from January, because 60% of 10,000, I have asked to receive in lump sum. So now in future, I will only get the 40% pension as periodical payment. So in January, 4,000 is going to be taxed. In February, 4,000 only is going to be taxed. And in March, 4,000 is going to be taxed. So technically, the total would be 32,000 taxed from uncommuted pension. but we have to solve the commuted taxability also. If no information has been given in the question, then we will consider no gratuity has been received. Now, in this case, exemption. So always remember the pension part would be solved in two manners, in two parts, in two separate provision would be applicable. One, we have to solve at what is uncommuted taxable pension. That will run full value until you will take some amount in lump sum. So in November, December, I did not take anything in lump sum, so full taxable. From the month, you will take any part as commuted portion of that pension. Then balance part is only going to be taxed till March. So this part need to be solved separate. Now we have to solve the commuted part. And because gratuity information not given, so exemption would be 1 by 2 of the commuted value of pension. So I have received 3 lakh, which is equivalent to 60%. So total commuted value would be 5 lakh. And my exemption would be 2,50,000 rupees. Now, the very important question from my side to all of you. What is going to be taxable portion from commuted part we have solved? We have find out the taxable portion from uncommuted part, that is 32,000. Now, can you tell me from this solution part, what should be the taxable value of commuted pension? Let me see who can answer this. Shalini is saying nil. Okay. 282. Very good. Okay, so Navneet is saying 250 plus 30. Navneet is saying 2,50,000 is taxable value. Adil is saying 2,82,000. That means out of commuted, 250 is exempted according to you. Taxable, okay. So Neeraj is saying commuted is nil. Golty Anil is saying, so only 2 lakh because it should not be more than that. Okay. When we were discussing the allowance provision, like house rent allowance in our last session, I've told you there is a universal provision of taxability, and the provision says taxable means received minus exempted. Always received minus exempted. So, how much we have received from commuted value of pension? What you are doing? You are providing exemption from whole value of pension. No, the taxability formula is received minus exempted. So in this commuted part, we have received 3 lakh rupees. You are considering 5 lakh minus 250. That is wrong. We have received 3 lakh rupees as commuted part of pension. Received and exempted is 2,50,000. So taxability for commuted part of pension is 50. Total taxable pension answer is 82,000. So this is very important for the purpose of examination. In the examination, a student generally do this mistake. What they generally do actually, when we find out the exemption, we do 5 lakh minus 250, the taxable value. That is a wrong. Because a universal rule to find out the taxability is received minus exempt. We did not receive 5 lakh. 5 lakh is the total value of pension, out of which the commuted value I just received, how much? 3 lakh rupees. So you have to remember this. Always remember this. 90% students do this mistake. They consider 5 lakh minus 250. Balance taxable 250. No, this is wrong because The formula is always received minus exempt. Understood? This is how we need to solve the pension provision. I believe now you must have understood how to find out the solution. Mustafa is saying uncomputed 32 plus 2,50,000, 60%. Why it is 60%? The exemption we have to find out according to the amount we have received as per the provision. You are not applying the provision, Mustafa, correctly. You are applying your concept accordingly. We have to follow the provision which has been prescribed. So that's why I asked you to solve this question, because once you do mistake, any one of you who have given the wrong answer, 2,50,000 taxable, because you have done a mistake. Now you will remember always, okay, I will not need to reduce out of 5 lakh rupees. So whenever we do a mistake and we learn, we never forget that thing. That's why I have asked all of you to find out the taxable amount. Got it? Chalo. Moving on to the provision. So as we have discussed everything in the diagram, uncommuted, commuted, now example also, you can go through it. The diagram also, it has been prescribed over here. You can go through it. In case of central state government, local authority, statutory corporation, it is 100% exempted. Other employee, if you receive gratuity, the formula is over here. If you does not receive gratuity, the formula is here. How to find out the commuted value of pension? The formula, it has been over here. This benefit of pension exemption under both head, whether you are under default tax regime or under optional tax regime. Exemption in respect of specific pension. Exemption in respect of pension received by recipient of gallantry award, etc. So if you have received any Paramveer Chakra, Mahavir Chakra, Veer Chakra, etc., if in that case, pension is going to be exempted, whether it's periodical pension. So kindly read this exemption. Now, the next compensation is gratuity. What is gratuity generally? Okay, let me ask you a very simple question. Suppose if you are working in any organization, and you worked for 20 years or 25 years, for that you were receiving salary per month. After 25 years, you retired from that organization. Okay. So your employer says, thank you that you have worked with us for such a long period. So is it right? Now, let me give you a practical example. In your house, if there is any servant is working, any your cook or maid, those are working, cleaning, etc., in your house, or any driver, etc. So when they work with you for a certain number of years, like after 20 years, 25 years, we pay them salary, etc. But you notice that when they retired, then your parents give them some gifts also. Some extra money they could give, or some clothes, or any other gifts. So what is technically it is? It's a way to thank them, that thank you so much that you have worked with us for such a long period with loyalty. So technically we give them clothes, utensils, etc. In the same way, when you work in an organization, then you are receiving salary for the work you are doing in that organization. But when you retire after 25 or 30 years, and if your employer gives you some extra money, it's a kind of a inam, it's a kind of a reward. Okay, you have worked with us, we are want to pay you 1 lakh rupees extra. So technically that is called gratuity. So gratuity is a word which has been derived from gratitude. Gratitude means to thank someone. So it's a nature of that way. So that's why the gratuity is here. It could be paid voluntarily. And there's a gratuity act also. If in your organization that gratuity act is applicable, then employer needs to pay. He has to pay the gratuity. So in that case, what is going to be taxed? What is going to be exempted? We are going to discuss that part in this gratuity provision. So again, it's a kind of a thing which is received by employee after retirement. So gratuity could be a voluntary payment also. It's a voluntary payment made by an employer in appreciation of services rendered by employee. Nowadays, gratuity has become a normal payment applicable to all employees. In fact, payment of gratuity act we have. I guess you must have gone through under for payment of gratuity act was in your foundation also or not? Earlier it was in foundation. So is it still in foundation? So if on your organization payment of gratuity act has been applicable, then your employer have to pay gratuity at a time of retirement according to the act. As for income tax, we are not bothered about it. We just need to know one thing. If gratuity received, how do we need to exempt it or how do we need to tax it? So as an income tax, we are not bothered whether you are going to receive gratuity or not, whether you are going to receive pension, whether you are going to receive allowances or not. As an income tax, we just need to know if it has been received, then what is the procedure to taxed or exempt it? This is our work. Okay. So gratuity can be paid again during the service, but if any compensation has been paid during service, what will happen? If it is during service, it would be taxable for all employees. While any gratuity paid after service, at termination, retirement, or death, we have exempted limit up to certain provision under section 1010. You can see a diagram has been made over here. If gratuity has been received during service, fully taxable. If it is received at the time of retirement or death, but if you are a government employee, central member of civil services, defense services employee, local authority employees, 100% exempted. So in my opinion, this case have very slight chances to be asked in the examination. Because in this case, what we need to do? We need to tax it completely. No provision need to be applicable. In this case, need to exempt it completely. So again, no provision needs to be applicable. So this could be the case in which, on which basis question or numerical should be asked in the examination. So if you are other categories employees, then there would be two situations. If you are working in an organization on which payment of gratuity act applicable. So if I am working in a company on which payment of gratuity act has been applicable, and from that organization, if I retire and I receive gratuity, then how it is going to be taxed? According to this provision. And if I am working in an organization on which payment of gratuity act does not applicable, that means the employer has no obligation to pay me gratuity, but still he decided to pay me gratuity at the time of retirement. Then according to this situation, we have to solve the concept. So generally I called it gratuity A case. I call this gratuity B case, and I call this one is gratuity C case. So accordingly, A, B, or C case, we have to solve the question. So I have my specific diagram for all of this. Let me show you how to find it out. Let me see if there any query. Navneet is saying later 2 lakh will be taxed as uncommuted. No, no. Out of that 5 lakh rupees total value of commuted pension, Navneet, 3 lakh you have received as commuted value in that year. The balance 2 lakh actually you are receiving 4,000 rupees per month. The balance 4 lakh, the 2 lakh rupees is not going to be received later. Out of this, those 2 lakh rupees, you are technically receiving 4,000 rupees per month. That is the part of that 2 lakh which you are going to receive periodically. So that is going to be taxed periodically 4,000 rupees per month. Neeraj, no sir, it wasn't. Sir, whatever here is taxable will be summed in salary head. Yes, exactly. We are discussing salary chapter. in parts. Whatever allowance is going to be taxed, we have discussed that is the part of salary. Basic salary is part of salary, advanced salary, part of salary, etc. Again, the pension taxable part, where it will go and going to be taxed in the format we have discussed as a part of compensation. Again, it's a part of salary. So when we will solve the full question of salary, then you will see we will solve all these allowances, compensation separately, and they are going to be included as part of our salary. Miss Aishwarya is saying, sir, what if employee resign the company after work experience of 14 years and join another company he worked 12 years? Then how can we calculate gratuity? So you have to tell me whether he's received gratuity from earlier company or not. We have provision for that. We have not completed gratuity concept yet. Abhi will discuss gratuity. We have more clarification regarding it. But let me tell you, Miss Aishwarya, if he does not receive gratuity for the first 14 years, then if at the time of retirement from the another company after working for 12 years, then we will consider full 26 year for the purpose of calculation. Okay. Navneet is saying if it is less than basic exemption, it will be exempt. Yes, of course, that basic exemption limit is for everyone. So if you are receiving only 4,000 rupees pension, so it is taxable as pension 4,000 rupees per month, but aggregate of the year would be 48,000. So it is taxable pension 48,000. And if you have no other income, then because it's less than 2,50,000, etc., basic exemption limit, you do not need to pay tax. We are not discussing about the payment of tax. We are just discussing what should be the taxable value. Either do you need to pay tax or not? That would be in the final chapter, chapter number 9. At the last, we will understand. Okay. So, so gratuity case. So let me explain you. If it is, of course, during service students, no need to discuss anything, 100% taxable. If it is after service, 3 cases. If you are a government employee, etc., 100% exempt. That is my case number 8. Now, if you covered under Payment of Gratuity Act 1972, if you are employee in an organization on which Payment of Gratuity Act 1972 is applicable, then how we will find out the exemption? There would be 3 limits. We have to calculate 3 limits. The lowest out of these 3 is going to be exempted and balance is going to be taxable. Understand? The first is gratuity received. The amount you received as gratuity would be given in the question. You have to put that amount in first place. So gratuity received. The first point which would be in the question. Second is the fixed government limit, and that is 20 lakh rupees. Now you can see the first and second amount is very, very easy. That would be given in the question. That is a fixed limit. So the all question calculation, etc., would be the part of third point. The B category says if the payment of gratuity at applicable, then the third is a formula. We have to solve it. That is 15 by 26 into monthly salary into year of services. So there would be 3 amounts. This would be always 20 lakh rupees. This would be as given in the question gratuity received, and this we need to find it out as per the formula. The lowest value is going to be exempted. And of course, what is going to be taxed? Taxed means received minus exempt. So now we have to understand what is this third category. only. First, second points not relevant to understand anything because that would be given in question. And the second is 20 lakh fixed. 15 oblique 26 into monthly salary. We have to consider under monthly salary, basic salary. Everything would be given in the question. You should need to learn what do we need to include. Basic salary and we have to add the dearness allowance. I have told you dearness allowance are of two types, term and non-term. In HRA we have discussed. So we will take all kind of dearness allowance, whether as per terms of employment or as per non-term of employment. Understand? In case of calculation of monthly salary, we have to take the monthly salary in which we have to consider basic salary plus we have to take dearness allowance as per term and non-term. Both dearness allowance we have to include. That is the meaning of monthly salary. What is year of service? The number of year we have worked in that organization. That we need to put over here. But in case of year of service, it says, suppose if you have worked for 20 years and 8 months, then we have to take 21 year in this place. That means 6 months or more job fraction would be considered as a year. So if you have worked for 20 year and 8th month, then this 8th month would be considered as one extra year. So we will take 21 year over here. For example, if it is 20 year, 4 months, then we will take 20 year. 6 months or more job fraction would be converted as 1 year. So now you must have thinking, what if it is 12 year and 6 months exact? So as I've told you, 6 months or more. So even if it is 6 months, we will take it as a year. So that is gratuity B case. Gratuity received, fixed 20 lakh, 15 by 26, monthly salary into year of service. Golti Anil wants to ask something. Can we unmute Golti Anil? Nisarg, can we unmute? Aditya is asking, sir, employee can receive gratuity both organization? Yes, it is possible they can receive. During service, government, non-government taxable? Yes, if you receive anything during service, then taxable in all cases. If two values would be same, then that value itself be taken the lowest. If two values like this is 20 lakh, gratuity received 10 lakh, third is also 10 lakh, then you will take 10 lakh rupees as a lowest value. Adil Khan is asking why 26 4 Sundays? Exactly, yes. The concept was half month salary we need to take 15 oblique 26 into monthly salary. If you decode this formula, this part, that's not required for the purpose of examination because it's a concept of why this formula has been derived like this. So the concept was that we will give half month salary as a gratuity for number of year you have worked. And half month means should be 15 oblique 30. But they have reduced 4 Sundays. So they just take 26 working days. So that's why it's 15 oblique 26. You might feel it's like weird, but it is the concept of 15 oblique 26. Again, not required for the examination. Nobody is going to ask you why it's 15 oblique 26. This is just for the knowledge because Adil has been asked it. Okay, Anil Gottlieb has no confusion. It's clear. Okay, very good. So this is case number B. And as I have always said, trust me one thing, it's a numerical topic, what we are discussing. So, even we have explained it multiple time to you, or even if you are going to learn it multiple time, everything has been sorted, everything has been learned by you, but still until we will practice, the concept would not be clear. So I will give example of gratuity pension today. So you will practice so that after that you would be able to understand it exactly clearly what and how do we need to do the calculation. So that was case number B. First of all, we have to read the case number B provision. Then we will move on to case number C. So you can see case A, government employee exempted. Now case B is over here. Everything has been written in notes. In case of employee who are covered by payment of gratuity act, minimum would be exempted. Gratuity received 20 lakh. These both would be very easy. 15/26 monthly salary, year of service. The meaning of monthly salary, year of service, everything has been explained. Do not worry. I write down each and everything for all of you. Period of service would be rounded to 1 year in excess of 6 months. Job fraction, clear? Monthly salary means basic salary last drawn and includes all dearness allowance. All dearness allowance. Last drawn month, suppose you retire in January 2026. So that means the monthly salary we need to take December, the last month of salary in which you have retired, the preceding month salary. December basic salary plus all DA we have to take. Suppose somebody retired today. Today is 6th of November. Then which month salary we need to take? October. Okay? Sure. So that was the clarification for case number B. Now there is case number C. Almost same. In case of employee who are not covered by payment of gratuity act, or if question is silent. This is very important. If only it has been written that gratuity has been received, it has not been mentioned whether it is a company on which payment of gratuity act applicable or not, then you can consider it as a case number C. Again, the point number 1 and 2 is same. Gratuity received 20 lakh. Only third has been changed. The third point says the C case. This is called case C. And the case C says first point is same. When 1972 Act not applicable or question is silent. Gratuity receipt 20 lakh rupees is fixed. Now third. So in the B case, the limit was 15/26. They have just removed 4 Sundays technically. That's why it's 15/26. But when we work in any organization, technically, if we not go on Sundays, then how much salary, how many days salary we receive? Full 30 days salary. So removing Sunday was not practically correct. So in the third C case, that problem has been solved. So they take 15/30. In short, we can write it down 1/2. So if you want to understand the logic behind 1/2, so technically they have included Sunday in C category. Again, in the examination, nobody is going to ask you. You have to just know the formula to apply that. Aditya sir, can we take in 24 Sunday? No, the formula is 15/26. You have to use it. I have just explained you the reason behind it. You cannot change it accordingly. Okay, so 15/30 was the case. So now formula has been updated 1/2 into. In the B case, it was monthly salary. Now it is change. It is called average monthly salary. And year of service has been changed to completed year of service. So slightly everything has been changed slightly from case number B. You can see the formula 15/26 has been converted into 15/30. That means 1/2. Monthly salary has been now named as average monthly salary and year of service has been changed to completed year of service. Now this is very simple. Complete your service means ignore the fraction. That means in B case, in this example, this was the answer, but if it is C case, then all case 20 year, 20 year, 20. Fraction need to be ignored because the word is completed. Completed year of service. So months need to be ignored. So this is sorted. This is sorted. Now this is. What is the meaning of average monthly salary? Now it's a good news. It's generally in the question. Generally in the question, average monthly salary would be given. But if not given, then let me tell you the meaning of this. It says you have to take the last 10 months average of salary. Last 10 months salary average you have to find. And in that salary, you need to consider only basic salary, DA as per only terms, and percentage commission on sale. For every month, you have to find these total of these three components. And you have to take the 10 months these components. So it will take time. You have to calculate preceding 10 months these three components. And total of 10 months these three components, you have to divide it by 10. Then you will find average monthly salary. So in 90% cases, it would be given in the question. You remember in HRA, for the purpose of salary, it was written as per gratuity C case in the notes, as per gratuity C case. Have you remembered it? Why it is so? Because exactly this is the salary which we use in gratuity C case. So gratuity C case salary component is going to be included in multiple cases in HRA, in gratuity. More to come in provident fund, in leave encashment, in VRS. So a lot of cases are there in which you have to take these three components. So that's why we always say gratuity C case. So you can understand 5 or 6 places in salary topic, we have to take gratuity C case kind of salary. So when we say gratuity C case, that means basic salary, DA terms, and percentage commission on sale. Okay, now how this average going to be calculated? Not that difficult, it's pure mathematics, nothing else difficult. Suppose somebody retired on 10th January 2026, retired and received gratuity. Now we have to take the average monthly salary if it's a C case. In B case, we just need to take the last month. But in this case, we have to take the last 10 months average of basic DN percentage commission. How? So January you retired, that means last 10 months would be December 25, November, October, September, August, July, then June, then May, April, कितने हो गए? One more, March. So in last these 10 months, we have to find out how much was basic plus DA term plus percentage commission on sale. December month, we have to find it out again. Basic DA term plus percentage commission. So we have to find it out for last 10 months. We will do the sum of all these 10 months, basic DA term divided by 10. That would be my average monthly salary. Now it's a very simple thing. Suppose in December, my basic salary is 50,000. DA term is suppose 10,000. Percentage commission was 2,000. So technically December would be 62,000. In October, it would be again same. If no salary change, the total of these 10 months would be again same, 6,20,000. You have to divide it by 10. So again, it would be 62,000. So technically, there would not be any change in preceding 10 months. And if it is not changed, then the preceding month would be automatically the average monthly salary. If the December is 62,000, the last month salary is same, then average would be again 62,000. So you need not to find out these 10-month salary again and again. And in the 90% cases, it would be given in the question. The balance 10% cases, the last month would be the same for next 10 last 10 months. So the average and the last month salary would automatically become the same. So that was the third case. Aditya, sir, employee can receive gratuity from both organization. Yes, he can receive, and then we have to do the two separate calculation. Everything is clear. Sir, in January's retirement, why we not taking January? Why we take March? Because if you retire on January 10th, then you must have received only 9 or 10 days salary. Where is the month salary? We have to take complete month salary. So if you the month you retire, you cannot have the full month salary in that month. So that's why we cannot consider the month in which you retire. Back to the provision. So now you can see the new formula, the meaning of salary, basic salary, DA terms, percentage fixed commission on turnover. Average month salary means average of salary drawn by employee for 10 months immediately preceding the month in which he retired. Now note number 3, 4 is applicable for B and C both case. This is for B and C both case. This is not only for C. 1, 2 was for C, but this note 3 and note 4 is general note. It is applicable B as well as C case. It says, if an individual getting gratuity from two employer at same time, then separate calculation will be made, but the limit of 20 lakh will be jointly remain rupees 20 lakh. So these two clarification wants to tell you something. They are saying, suppose Mr. A working in X, Y, Z Limited as well as also work in A, B, C and company. He is working in both organizations. In previous year, 25-26, he retired from both organizations. And in this year, he received gratuity also from both organizations. So nothing to worry. The normal calculation needs to be done. Suppose this is a case of B category, gratuity act applicable. This is a case of C category, gratuity case not applicable. So not an issue. On X, Y, Z Limited and C case on A, B, C and company. So then normal calculation need to be done. Gratuity received. One difference is this. You just not consider 20 lakh rupees exemption if you are receiving gratuity in the same year from two organizations. Then you skip step number 2. That was 20 lakh rupees fixed limit. Calculate gratuity received and as per the formula. Because B case applicable, so that accordingly 15/26 monthly salary year of service. Accordingly find your value, and this is gratuity received value. Then again, gratuity received and 1/2 into average monthly salary into complete year of service amount this. We will not take that fixed limit in both organizations separately. If you consider 20 lakh over here, 20 lakh over here, so that means you are providing 40 lakh benefit. But because it's a government fixed limit of 20 lakh rupees, so we cannot consider it separately in both organizations. Now what you will do? The lower from this, the lower from this, you can take. Then in aggregate, you will compare it. to 20 lakh rupees. In aggregate, we will consider only 20 lakh rupees for the purpose of comparison. So how we will solve it? Gratuity receipt from both organization you can take at once. Don't take lower from here. Then the formula value you can take from both organization and then compare 20 lakh rupees over here. Out of these three, whichever is lowest is going to be exempted. So do your calculation separately. Just skip 20 lakh rupees limit. When you are able to find out these gratuity received and as per the formula value, then aggregate this gratuity over here. The formula value, whatever you have derived, you can aggregate both of them over here and then just take 20 lakh rupees total limit at once. The lowest is going to be exempted. The balance is going to be taxable. Gratuity received minus exempt. That means this minus exempted. So why does this provision, this clarification has been given? Because if you will take 20 lakh over here and 20 lakh over here separate, then technically you are claiming 40 lakh exemption together, which is not the intention of law. The law says we will provide you aggregate exemption of 20 lakh rupees. That's for your lifetime. Whether you are receiving gratuity in the same year from two organizations or you receiving gratuity once from one organization, then switch your job into another company and receive gratuity from that organization later on. That has been note number 5. Now that's a separate example. So if you receive gratuity from two organizations in the same year, do all the calculation, just forget about this 20 lakh rupees limit. When you will find out gratuity received or as per formula, aggregate them and then 20 lakh you need to compare it. Now, another example to make you understand that this 20 lakh rupees is aggregate for your lifetime. Suppose Mr. A retire in 2012 from any organization and he received gratuity 10 lakh rupees from that organization in 2012. And as per the formula, suppose C case applicable and the lowest amount was 8 lakh rupees as per the formula. So technically he claimed exemption of 8 lakh rupees in 2012. So taxable value must be 2 lakh rupees in that year. Now suppose he start working in another organization. He joined another company and in our previous year 25-26, he retired from that company and he received gratuity now rupees suppose 20 lakh. Now for the second limit which is fixed, change it to 22 lakh. So there will not be any confusion. The provision says the first amount is gratuity received. The second is our fixed limit, which is 20 lakh. Now the concept says if anyone has received gratuity earlier and claim exemption, so whatever amount exemption he has been claimed earlier, that is going to be reduced from that fixed limit in the year in which he will be eligible to claim the exemption again. So now this 20 lakh limit would be only 12 lakh rupees. The third limit would be accordingly, whatever it would be. Suppose as per C case, the third limit is 8 lakh. So now we will take fixed limit only 12 lakh rupees. Out of these three, 8 lakh exempted again. Suppose it's not 8, it's 7. So 7 lakh exempted. Now assume he start working somewhere else in 2030-31. He again received gratuity. Now what would be the fixed limit? Fixed limit was 20. 12 8 he has availed in 2012. 7 he has availed in 2025-26. So now the balance is only fixed limit is 5 lakh. You can see these both note this and this. Technically trying to explain you the same thing. that the 20 lakh rupees is the aggregate limit. You cannot claim it more than that. Whether you are retiring in the same year from multiple organization or you are retiring from multiple organization in different year, this limit of 20 lakh is going to be reduced accordingly. So these note 2, 3 and 4 is very important. If individual receiving gratuity in earlier year, then the limit of 20,000 will reduce by the amount of gratuity exempted from tax in earlier year. This exemption of gratuity you can claim under both regime. Let me see if there's any query. For companies and employees, B, case is beneficial or case C depends upon the information. What is your average monthly salary? What is your year of service, etc. It will depend accordingly. Yes, Gold TNL, overall limit of 20 lakh cannot be exceeded. So the 3 and 4 note technically explaining the same thing, that this 20 lakh rupees limit is fixed. It cannot be aggregated even if you are having retirement from more than one company in the same year, or you are getting salary in multiple years from different company. The limit would be maximum 20 lakh. Uh, Harivansh is asking, sir, complete year of service means period of employment for how much year? Yes, exactly. That's the meaning of complete year of service. Anil is saying, sir, we simply reduce from 20 lakh and rest can be claimed as deduction, sir. Yes, we can do that. Not an issue. And once your 20 lakh rupees limit exemption has been exhausted, then the fixed limit would be zero for future. And if it is zero, that means always gratuity is going to be taxed full. You cannot claim exemption ever once 20 lakh exemption has been claimed. Okay, so is there any query, student? You want to unmute yourself? Anyone you want to unmute yourself? Let me know if you want to ask uh, anything. So I can ask the technical team to unmute you and you can ask your queries. So that would be an interaction between us as you were asked in the feedback. So anyone is there wants to ask anything, you can raise your hand. Neeraj saying complex concept. Let me tell you, it's not complicated. Once you will solve the illustration, I will give you illustration example. So once you will solve it, you will find it very, very easy. Salary only is having one problem. When the same question, there would be basic salary, advanced salary, area of salary. There would be allowances. There would be gratuity, pension. So that would be a problem, that how you will apply all the concept in the same question. But individually, no concept is difficult except one. There would be a concept of provident fund taxability. So that is, I believe, it's difficult in my opinion. Separate. It's a separate concept, but it's difficult. But any other thing is simple. Tell me what is difficult in gratuity. First case is received. Second is 20 lakh. Third is a formula. And because I'm explaining you each and everything, but average monthly salary, year of services, that would be given in the question. You just need to remember the formula, that what we need to put. All other information would be given in the question. Suppose, as I explained you, that if gratuity earlier exempted, you have to reduce it. Now in the numerical, how it would be given? It would given like this, that Mr. A already claimed 6 lakh exemption of gratuity in earlier year. Now what you need to do in this year? Out of 20 lakh, 6 lakh need to be reduced in the fixed limit. So it would be 14 lakh. That's it. So practical implication is very simple. But because I need to communicate it, I need to make you understand it. So it will take more time. Otherwise, it's very simple. Till now, nothing is complicated. I'm telling you, there's a complicated provision, provident fund taxability, in which you will feel, yes, sir, this is complicated, and do not worry. I am with you. I will say, yes, it is complicated. Okay, so last class illustration answer 12300 HRA Nagaraja is saying. Okay. I will discuss that test your knowledge question of HRA, what I've asked you to do, but that would be discussed in next session. I will give you a homework of lot of questions today, so you would be able to do practice of simple HRA question first, then you will solve it. Kuldeep is saying, sir, if an employee employed by a company in different terms, then period of service for second term would not consider first per previous terms of what is this? Employee employed by a company in different terms, then period of service for second term. If anyone has been received gratuity earlier, that period of service would not be included when he have joined the organization again, any other organization again. Let me tell you with the help of an example. Generally, it happens. One more clarification to all of you. Suppose Mr. A worked in XYZ Limited for 10 years. At retirement, no gratuity payment. Fine. Now he work in another organization, ABC, for 12 years. At retirement, he received gratuity. So whether in case number B applicable or C applicable in this case, when he received gratuity, the year of service would be taken 22. Because if you work in an organization and if that organization pay you gratuity, but if you worked in another organization before this organization and you have not received gratuity from that organization, then the period of service of this organization and previous organization would be accumulated. Suppose if he has received gratuity from this organization already, then we will take only 12 years. But it has been clarified that if any employee receive gratuity from any organization and before that organization, if he did not receive gratuity from his previous organization, then the number of year would be aggregated in this year organization. HR is monthly calculation. Yes, it's a monthly calculation, but in the end, you have to aggregate it because we have to tax it for the complete previous year. Revising, practicing only formula for all subject. Anil is asking, sir, what if the employee has not received any salary in last 10 months due to health issue? Can we take? Yes, it is a specific special case. In that special case, there would be special permission. In that case, you can take before that 10 months salary can also be considered. But that is a special case. Now, need if receipt from both employers, separate calculation needed. Yes, you have to calculate separately, gratuity, etc. If possible, can you say how to maintain or prepare notes? Look, as I am providing you each and everything. Look, this is salary chart. What we are going to discuss is salary. Let me show you. Okay, this is now you can see this is a chart of gratuity, pension, etc. I am going to upload it later. First, because I just wanted that we should focus on the full provision. Then for the purpose of short note, you can use these chart or you can make your short notes on the basis of this chart or the provision. So if this chart is enough for you to make short notes, you can use it as your short notes, or you can prepare your short notes like the way I am presenting you these chart presentation. So that will help you to revise the provision as per your convenience. So please make short notes because that is going to help you. And whatever notes I'm trying to prepare, I'm just making those notes interesting via providing the special notes, clarification, etc. So either you can use them or you can prepare your short notes accordingly. The provision which is according to you is difficult. Kindly make short notes of those provision at least. Any other query? Let me see. If due to health issue or received, health issue not received, but it will be due and we can take on due basis. No, no. If you're not working in any organization, Navneet, then your salary is not due. So if you are not working, you are on leave, then either there would not be any receipt, there would not be any due. So for the purpose of due, your working should be there. So in that case would not be applicable like that. Adil is asking, if received in previous company, then what will year of service if new company retirement? If you have received gratuity in the previous company already, then for how many years you have worked in the new company before retirement? That would be your year of service. It's a normal case. Okay, sir, when Mr. A employed in com.xyz and there is not getting any gratuity and after 10 years he leave the company and join another company, how here we calculate gratuity on both company? No, no, you do not need to calculate gratuity on both company. In the new company where he has joined, when he will leave that company, the second company, in that whatever gratuity he will receive from this second company would be your first point. Second point would be 20 lakh rupees. In the third point, as per case or B or C, we will apply the formula. But the year of service or whether it is complete year of service, we have to add the year of service you have worked 10 years in earlier organization. So suppose you have receiving gratuity in this organization after 6 years. So 6 years of this organization plus 10 years of last organization. You just add the year of last organization, no salary, nothing you need to include. Only year of service would be added. That's it. Commuted pension receipt from government employee. Avinash is on query portal also asking something. I will answer you. Let me see over here. Commuted pension receipt from government employee will be exempted. Yes, of course, that we have discussed. If a government employee retired at 60 year and joined a private company, then his salary will be taxed as normal employee. Yes, of course. What is the problem in that? Avinash is asking on query portal, if employee get gratuity from multiple company after retirement, then the fixed limit of 20 lakh minus exempted gratuity of previous year will be fixed limit for this year. Absolutely correct, Avinash. Exactly. Okay, so we have taken all the queries. Okay. When I'll be back, I want to ask to all of you the difference between basic salary, advanced salary, and area of salary. So please revise it. When we'll back after the break, I will come and ask. So any one of you can answer the difference between basic, advanced salary, and area of salary in short. The main difference between these three salaries, I want to know from all of you. Okay. So Nisarg ji, can we have a small break? Okay, welcome back everyone. So we are back again. I believe you must have your tea, coffee, etc. So as I have asked you that after the break, I will ask anyone to please explain the difference between basic salary, advanced salary, and area of salary in short. So who will tell the difference? Anyone? Please raise your hand. Dhanlakshmi wants to, and Neeraj also. Adil also there. So Dhanlakshmi, you proceed. Can we unmute Dhanlakshmi?
So basic
Dhanlakshmi.
salary.
Yes, yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Little louder, please. Little louder.
Okay, sir. Um, Basic salary means it is we pay on whether it is due base or receipt base, whichever is earlier and higher, it is taxable. Advance salary means salary which is received in a year,
Dhanlakshmi, you are
which is
not audible. But please list little higher, little loud, please.
okay. The basic salary, which is on due basis or receipt basis, whichever is earlier and higher, we are going to consider as a basic salary. And advance salary is received during a year which is not due.
Correct.
And advance again salary is like a loan which you are taking against a salary, and we will pay in an installment basis.
What is area of salary?
Arrear of salary means we will pay. That is the
Retro.
um,
Retrospective.
retrospective effect. It is like when a employee is not received a salary, when he is asked for an increment, but the company is not given, he will go and put a case in a court, and the court will say that to increase the salary from from the date the court orders. So, um, so the company has to pay the salary from the court order, which is of maybe last year's, which is
That is
not due.
that is an example, but you have explained correctly that any salary which has been received due to retrospective effect. So if you want to explain to anyone what is area of salary in a single line, so we can say any salary you
Any
received
sal-
previous year due to retrospective effect. So
Okay.
that would be the clarity. Very good. So Adil, would you let would you explain the HRA provision? Can you explain the HRA three limits? We have to calculate the how to calculate the exemption under HRA. Adil, you please explain. Please unmute Adil so he can explain the provision of HRA. I just want to know the three amounts we have to calculate for finding out the exemption. Can we unmute Adil?
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes, you're audible.
So HRA will be the act. There is a three condition, whichever is lower. First is HRA actually received. Second, rent paid minus 10% of salary. For salary calculation, we will consider basic pay, DA, which is term, and in percentage of commission on sale, and 50% in case of DMKC means Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, and Mumbai, and 40% in case of order of salary. Whichever is lower, we will consider, and taxable amount will be received minus exempted.
Yes, absolutely right. Well done, Adil. Very good. So in the same way, when we will take next session, in the starting of the class, I will ask students some questions regarding whatever we have discussed in the last session. So that would be the interaction part. So as per your feedback, you wanted some kind of interaction, some kind of recap. So we have considered it. Okay. So next is Radesh Shyam Tiwari has typed basic salaries amount to salary payable every month for services rendered, advanced salary that is received before it is due. Area is due to retrospective. Absolutely right, Radesh Shyam. Galti, sir, as per Gratuity Act, employees should work at least minimum for 4 years. Will this statement really matters to us? No, that does not matter to us because as I told you that we are not concerned about it whether employee receiving gratuity or not. As per income tax, we just need to see if gratuity received, then how to tax or exempt it. That's it. Whether he's not receiving, whether 5 year has been completed or not, that does not matter. Suppose in the question it has been given that he works for 2 years and get the gratuity. Still, we have to solve the question. We cannot question it why he received gratuity. It is not as per Payment of Gratuity Act. That is none of our business. Our business is just to find income exempted or taxable from the information given. Kuldeep is saying arrear salary could be any salary earned due to revised wages negotiation. No, that could be only a salary which has not been due earlier because we did not know that it is going to be due or not, and which is received in previous year and just because of a retrospective effect. That is the only definition and correct definition of arrear of salary. Shamli is explaining the provision of HRA. Well done. Achitya is saying basic salary fixed amount paid every month. Advance salary is received before the due date. Arrear salary is due of salary. Arrear is wrong, Achitya. Sure. So we were discussing the provision. Where we were. Okay. So gratuity has been done. Then fees, commission, perquisite, or profit in lieu of or in addition to any salary or wages. Perquisite we will going to discuss in detail separately in this chapter later on. Advance salary we have already discussed. Now next compensation is leave salary or leave encashment. In my opinion, if there would be a question of salary in which retirement is there, let me tell you, gratuity and leave encashment provision would be definitely there. Pension may be in that question, maybe not in that question, but 99% cases you will get the provision of gratuity received in that question and also leave encashment. Now, what is leave encashment? When you work in any organization, then in some organization, they provide you some paid leaves like casual leaves and medical leave. Suppose you are working in an organization and they provide you 2 days medical leave every month or casual leave 2 days every month. So that means if you will take 2 days holiday in that month, still you will get the full month salary because that is paid leave. And if you did not take these leaves during that month, that means your 2 days extra working salary is going to be added back. So technically you have earned 32 days salary or 2 days extra salary for that month. Suppose in that month you have taken only 1 leave out of 2 days casual leave, you just availed 1 day leave. So that means you have earned 1 day extra salary in that month. And these are called leave encashment. Generally, in every month, whatever leave you do not avail, suppose in first month you did not avail any leave, so there is 2 days salary added. In next month, 1 day salary added. In next month, again it's suppose 2 days salary added. In next month, there is no. So whatever these casual leave, what you not availed, listen very carefully, the number of medical leaves, paid leave, casual leave, what you did not avail, that extra salary generally paid at the time of retirement. So in your duration of job, like you have worked for 20 years, and out of these 20 years, you did not avail 400 days casual leave. So those 400 days casual leave payment, you will receive at the time of retirement. If you receive those payment during service, that is going to be 100% taxable, as in case of all compensation. So what is technically leave encashment? Whatever leave you received or you earned as paid leave, whether it's name of medical leave, casual leave, etc. And out of those leave you did not avail, the payment of that lump sum amount of those leave you did not avail, we called it unavailed leave. Unavailed, you will receive at a time of retirement. Suppose in your duration of job, at the time of retirement, total leave earned was 1000 days. For your 30-year of service, total leave earned was 1000 days, out of which 650 days leave you have taken. So technically, at the time of retirement, you will get 350 days leave payment as leave encashment. So if the question is silent, if question is saying that you are receiving payment of 5 lakh rupees, suppose, for 350 days. So technically that 350 days are unavailed leave. Even if they are not saying these 350 days are unavailed, but it's a logic. You will only get the payment for those leave you did not avail. Because if you availed it, there would not be any payment. Understood? So generally, employee are allowed to take leave during the period of service. Employee may avail such leave, or in case leave is not availed, then the leave may either lapse or be accumulated for future, or allowed to be encashed every year at a time of termination, depends. The payment received on account of encashment of unavailed leave would form part of salary. Section 1010AA provides exemption of amount received by way of encashment of unutilized earned leave by an employee at a time of retirement, etc. Again, if it has been received during the period of service, as always, fully taxable. Termination, retirement, if you are a government employee, fully exempted. If you are other than government employee, now there are 4 limit. Out of these 4 amount, which is lowest, is going to be exempted. Out of these 4, one is leave encashment received, that would be given in question as gratuity received. And the fixed limit is 25 lakh. In case of gratuity, it's 20 lakh, but for the leave encashment, the limit is 25 lakh. So these two are simple. We just need to focus on these 2 points. The maximum leave earned, we cannot take more than 30 days. So suppose your employer is providing you 3 leaves every month. So for a year, practically you are able to avail 36 days leave. But income tax has been fixed that we will not consider more than 30 days leave for every year. Even if your employer providing 30 days leave, we will take maximum 30 days leave for the purpose of our calculation. Where we need to put these 30 days leave, I will show you. Do not worry. So this is the exemption summary. How we need to find out the exemption of leave encashment. The first point is fully exempted in case of government employee. The point number B, in case of other employee. Amount received, that would be given in question. Fixed limit, 25 lakh rupees. 10 into average month salary. Third point is also very simple. 10 multiplied by average monthly salary. The average monthly salary as per gratuity C case. Remember, as per gratuity C case, we have discussed the average monthly salary. According to that, you have to find average monthly salary. In maximum cases, it would be given in the question. Okay, that would be exactly similar to gratuity C case. The main point is this point number 4. It says leave earn in days. Earn means leave allowed to you. The leave allowed to you during that duration of your job. As a per month, I have discussed 3 days leave per month has been provided by the employer. So in a year, it is 36. Suppose you have worked for 10 years. So that would be 360. So leave earned means the leave allowed by the employer. But as we have discussed, the leave earned would be actual or 30 days has been fixed. 30 days per annum, whichever is lower. So suppose your employer is providing you 36 days per annum and you have worked for 10 years. So 36 or 30, lower is 30. So you will take in this point 300 days. Suppose employer providing 25 days leave every year, only 25, then 25 or 30, lower is 25 into 10, 250 would be your number of days. So number of year would be given, but we cannot take more than 30 days. So for the purpose of calculation of leave one, you have to write it down actual or 30 days, whichever is lower. Clear? Now leave availed, that would be given in question. You have to put it over here in days, then average monthly salary upon 30. So that would be a fourth amount. So received 25 lakh, 10 into MS, and this would be from the formula. Now leave availed in days, this is very interesting. Leave availed generally will be given in the question directly. Generally. So either it would be given in question. If it would be given, I will take that number of days over here. But there could be possibility that leave availed would not be given in question. If it is not given, then we can find it out as follows. How? Again, a mathematical question, very simple. You have to take total actual leave. Total actual leave, or whatever leave has been provided by the employer actually. Suppose 3 leaves per month. So 3 leaves per month, yearly, that would be 36 leaves. And suppose 20 year of service. We have to take complete year of service, 20 year of service. So that means 720. So total number of leaves, you have to write it down. And if leave availed not given in question, then leave unavailed would be always given in question. That is surety. If leave availed not given, leave unavailed would be there. One information would be there, whether leave unavailed would be in question or leave availed. If leave availed given directly, we can solve this question like this. If leave availed does not given, then 100%, or we can say 1000% leave unavailed would be there. So if I will subtract from total leave, unavailed leave, suppose the unavailed leave has been given in the question 500, then the balance would be leave availed. So I will put this over here. So it's simple mathematics. If leave availed not given, then how we can find it out leave unavailed? Total leave actual less unavailed. Balance would be my automatically leave availed. It's like this. As I have given you 100 rupees in the morning, and when you came back at the evening, I have found 20 rupees in your pocket. So how much you have spent? 80. In the same way, I have given you 720 leaves total. And now you have remaining only 500. So how much you have availed? You have availed 220 days leave. If this difference, leave earned in days minus leave availed in days, if the difference is in negative, suppose if it is in negative, then this point number 4 would be considered as 0. And 0 means no exemption, because lowest will be 0. That was leave encashment. We have example also. Do not worry about it. Leave earn will be maximum 30 days for complete year of service. Salary means gratuity CPAs. Average monthly means 10 months average. Note number 3 and note number 4 is exactly same as we have discussed in gratuity. Suppose you are receiving leave encashment from 2 organizations in the same year, then this 25 lakh fixed limit would remain 25 lakh. First of all, solve the provision without 25 lakh rupees limit. Then you have to compare those aggregate amount with 25 lakh and lower would be exempted. Same note number 4. If you have claimed exemption of leave encashment in earlier year, then limit of 25 lakh would be reduced. by the amount exempted in earlier year. So these 3 and 4 is common provision as per same provision we can say as gratuity and leave encashment. If leave encashment received by family members after death of employee, then 100% exempt, no taxability. Now these are two examples in which we have to find out how many number of days or what amount is going to be exempted or taxable. Example number 1, example number 2. So it's better that I will give you these examples for your homework. Mr. A received 2 lakh rupees for encashment. So that would be my point number 1, 2 lakh. Second is of course 25 lakh fixed. AMS has been given 20,000. So 20,000 into 10. Again 2 lakh rupees my third limit. Fourth, I have to find it out. The information has been given. Encashment of 600 days leave. So this 600 days leave would be, we have receiving 2 lakh rupees for encashment of 600 days leave. So can you tell me these 600 days is what? Unavailed or availed? If I am receiving 2 lakh rupees for encashment of 600 days leave, so what does these 600 days leave? Is unavailed leaves or are they availed? What exactly it is? Golti Anil wants to say something. Same as Golti want to say something. Where is she? Can we unmute Golti Anil? Mustafa is saying, sir, in pension, uncommuted in gratuity received during service and leave encashment received during service, in this all situation, fully taxable. But is government employee, then also it is fully taxable or not? In pension, if it is uncommuted, that is exempted. Only commuted pension, uncommuted pension is taxable in case of government employee also. Commuted pension is exempted in case of government employee. That has been discussed in diagram also. Unavailed, exactly. Whatever amount you will receive, that is for always unavailed leaves. Because you will not receive anything for leaves you have availed. Leave not taken. Correct, Golti Anil. Commuted pension is exempted for government employee. Uncommuted is taxable for all. Unavailed, correct. So these payment will always be received for unavailed leave. So even if question is not telling you, that is automatically that we will receive the amount of encashment only for those leaves which has been unavailed. So this is unavailed. Other information has been given in question. So you have to solve this question yourself. We will discuss the solution in the next session. Again, leave encashment benefit is under both regime, whether this is a default tax regime or optional tax regime. Mustafa is asking something. Mustafa is saying, so all are fully taxable if it's government or not during. Yes, if it is during service, everything is taxable, whether you are government employee or not, does not matter. Aditya is saying, sir, in any organization, only 21 days leave they can give in a year. But how employee can take medical leave exempt 21 days? That is not paid. We are talking about paid leaves in a year. So if you are taking a leave for medical, etc., for that time duration, you are not going to receive any salary. So we are discussing the provision which is for paid leave. Maybe you are understanding that we are talking about medical leave. No, that is not the case, Aditya. Your question is not clear exactly what you want to ask. So that was leave encashment provision. Now we are moving on to provident fund provisions. And this is not those provident fund provision what I was saying that difficult. This is easy provident fund concept what we are discussing right now. The difficult concept would be in the part 2 of salary that we will discuss after this. Provident fund scheme is a scheme intended to give substantial benefit to an employee at the time of his retirement. So in case of provident fund, what actually happens? Employer asks you to deposit a certain amount of money from your salary to a provident fund. It's a kind of a, suppose it's a kind of a bank account. So what happens? Suppose this is an employer. You are an employee. Employer pay you salary of 50,000 per month. Now suppose in this organization, provident fund concept is applicable. So what will happen out of the salary of 50,000? Employer will not pay you 50,000 rupees. Suppose out of this 50,000, 10%. There are two kinds of contribution. Out of this 50,000 rupees salary, 10% employer deducted. That means 5,000. So 5,000 has been deposited to Provident Fund. 5,000 has been deposited to the Provident Fund of employees. This is an employee account. Do not bother about it that this amount is going somewhere else. Suppose it's a separate bank account. Just imagine it Provident Fund for right now. Just imagine it's a kind of a bank account. So employer out of the salary of 50,000, suppose 5,000 deposited into PF account of employee. So technically employee will receive only 45,000 rupees salary. But this 5,000 is not going anywhere. It is going to, suppose, in another pocket of employee. This 45,000 is another pocket of employee, and this is also the pocket of employee, but this is with Provident Fund department. So this 5,000 has been deposited as a saving into employee's Provident Fund account. The amount he will receive later. Now this is called employee contribution. We called it employee contribution. Now a similar contribution or more could be done by the employer. Now suppose employer also have to contribute as per the government rule. Now employer also needs to contribute. This is called employer contribution. He cannot contribute less than 10%. Suppose employer is contributing 15% of salary. That is 7,500. So you can see in employee provident fund, 5,000 has been deposited as employee contribution, and employer contribution would be 7,500 rupees. So there would be 12,500 rupees, in which you can see this 5,000 was the same amount of salary which we could receive, but we are not receiving it. We received only 45, but this 5,000 has been deposited to his account. This is additional amount of payment. Technically, if you'll see, this is not additional because this is included in my salary. So this 5,000 is not additional because this is the part of my salary which is not, I am not receiving it. This is directly in my Provident Fund account deposited, and I will get it at the time of retirement. But this is extra payment. This is additional payment technically. This is the employer contribution is additional income. This was not included in this 50,000. So technically 50 plus 7,500. This 7,500 is extra income of employee technically. Okay, now I'll ask one question. Please think about it and then answer. In this example, how much would be taken as basic salary in the hands of employee? We have to find out basic salary. What would be basic salary? Option 1 is 45,000 or option 2 is 50,000. What would be the basic salary in the hands of employee in this example? Okay, Adil is saying 45, Diya is saying 50, Navneet is saying 50, Neeraj is saying 50, Kuldeep is saying 57,500. This is not was the option, Kuldeep. Option is only two, 45 and 50. How it came? Linga is saying 50, Achitya is saying 45, Galtian is saying 50, Ajay is saying 50, Nagaraj is saying 45, Mujahid is saying 45, Shalini 50, Tanisha is saying 50, Shireen is saying 45, Tiwari Radheshyam 45, Aishwarya 50, 50, Syed 45, 45, Vikas 50, 45, 45. Okay, so what is the definition was basic salary? I have intentionally asked you the definition of basic salary. What is the definition of basic salary? Basic salary means which is due or received. You can say higher. Even if it is not received, that would be my basic salary. So my salary was 50,000, received only 45. So technically due is 50K and received is 45K. So what is higher or earlier? 50. So basic salary will remain 50. Even he does not received anything. Even he received zero. Still basic salary would be 50,000. So this 5,000 already included in my basic salary taxability. The employee contribution already taxed this 5,000 because as a basic salary, I have to write it down 50,000 in taxability. So this 5 is the part of my 50,000 already. Now this is extra. Now on this employee contribution, I will receive interest. And on this employer contribution also, I will receive interest. So in this provident fund concept, we have to discuss 4 provision. What is the treatment of employee contribution? 5,000 rupees under salary head. What is the treatment of 7,500 rupees under salary head? That is called employer contribution. What is the interest on employee contribution taxability? And what is the employer contribution interest taxability? Why I have explained this example? Because when we will discuss employee contribution, employer contribution, you should understand about what we are talking about. So when we will discuss employee contribution, you will understand, okay, we are talking about this 5,000 rupees. What is the taxability? What is the concept? What is the treatment under salary head? And what is employer contribution? What is the treatment of interest? What we will receive on employee contribution? And what is the interest treatment when we will receive that interest on employer contribution? So you should understood about what we are going to discuss. So employer contribution should minimum 10 or 12.5. Look, employer contribution could not be less than the employee contribution. Now, what should be the contribution percentage? That is as per provident fund rules. As per income tax, we do not bother about it. As per income tax, we have just to see whether or how much we need to exempt or tax. That's it. Kuldeep is saying, so here 45,000, what is 45,000? 50,000 would be your basic salary, not 45. Anil is saying we have to discuss treatment for employee contribution, employer contribution and interest. So there are 4 topics we need to discuss in case of this provident fund provision. Riddhi when is saying, sir, if salary case, if in case salary is deducted in case of extra leave, will it affect? Salary not going to be paid. How it is possible we have paid extra salary? That is not possible. You are asking something which is practically not possible. Okay, Sarah Kasim was saying 45,000. It was 50. Santosh, yes, it would be 50. Yes, Shalini, it's 50. So now we are moving on to the provision of provident fund. Okay, there are 4 kinds of treatment. Employees contribution. Now understood that 5,000 rupees we are talking about. Employer's contribution, that interest on employee contribution, employer contribution 7,500 and interest on it. We have types of provident fund and 4 treatment and we have 4 funds. So total treatment are 16 treatment we have to understand. 16. Because we have 4 provident funds, and for each provident fund, there are 4 concepts: employee contribution, employer contribution, interest on employee, interest on employer. So there are total 16 cases. Out of those 16, 10 cases are exempted or not applicable. So only 5 or 6 treatment we have to learn. So do not bother about it. Very easy. What is the meaning of these provident fund? This is for your reading. Kindly read. What are the meaning of? There are 4 RPF, URPF, SPF, and PPF. So you can go through with the theoretical concept of it. Now this is the treatment. So I have made a format so that would be easy to all of you to understand. URPF is unrecognized. RPF is recognized provident fund. SPF is statutory provident fund, and PPF is public provident fund. Now one by one we will see the treatment. And look, employees contribution. So we are talking about that 5,000 rupees which has been deducted from the employee's salary. So that 5,000 is automatically going to be the part of your basic salary. We will take the basic salary 50,000 and 5,000 has been included. So technically no treatment in any of the fund of employees contribution under the head salary. No treatment under salary head. No treatment. The treatment would be under deductions under section 80C. So no salary treatment in all these cases. We are discussing salary topics, so no treatment in salary head. Yes, the deductions would be available. But even URPF deduction not available. In 3 cases, deductions are available. So this would be discussed in deduction topic. So technically, employees contribution does not have any impact on salary provision automatically, because 5,000 that was employee contribution already included in basic salary. No need to worry about it. Now employer contribution, that's 7,500 rupees we are talking. No treatment in salary head, non-taxable. No treatment in SPF, no treatment in PPF, only treatment in RPF, recognized provident fund. Up to 12% of salary is exempt and excess will be taxable. So up to 12% of salary is exempt, balance is taxable. In our example, he contribute 15% of salary. So 12% need to be exempted. So only 3% is going to be taxed. 3% of salary. So how much it was? 50,000 was my salary. So 1,500 rupees needs to be taxed only. Clear? Very simple. Suppose if the contribution is up to only 12%. Employer contribution is 12%. Nothing is going to be taxed, or less than 12%, no taxability. If the employer contribution is more than 12%, that excess needs to be taxed. As simple as that. Just a mathematical provision. You can do it, of course. Now interest concept. There would be 2 interest. Interest on PF, employer contribution, employee contribution. No treatment in URPF. Fully exempt, not applicable, fully exempt. So again, the treatment in only RPF. Now for the interest, the provision is common. Exempt up to 9.5% per annum, whether it's employee contribution, whether it's employer contribution. 9.5% of interest would be exempted and excess is taxable. So in the question, they will give you the interest and the percentage both. Suppose they say the interest on RPF was 3,000 rupees, which is 11% interest rate. So till 9.5% is it exempted and balance is taxable. So can you give me the answer how much is going to be taxable in this case? If 9.5% is exempted and excess is taxable, then can you tell me the taxable value? Out of this 3,000, how much going to be taxed? Amount I need. Do not give me percentage. I need amount. How much amount? The value of amount. I want to know how much is going to be taxed. 2715 is saying Shalini. 2590. Okay. Shireen. Anyone else? 25902715 is Radheshyam. Nagaraj also saying 2590. 545 is Kuldeep. Okay. Anyone else? 2715 Harivansh. 2715 Ina. Anyone else? 409 is taxable by Anil. Chitya is saying 2715. Linga is saying 2591. 545 is as per Navneet. Ajay is saying 2715. 45 is taxable as per Dhanlakshmi. No, that I always say that provision in front of us, but still we are not able to give the correct answer. Kuldeep is saying 409. Just because until you practice numerical concepts, we won't be able to find the correct answer easily. 2715 as per Archana. Shamli is saying 409 taxable. Santosh is saying 2670. I need taxable answer. 540 as per Vidhiben. 409 as per Vikas. 45 as per Balamurgan. Adil is saying 45. Harivansh 285. 2955 Dhanlakshmi. The correct answer is, students, this 409 is the correct taxable answer. Maybe you are applying this percentage of 9.5% on the contribution. No, there is nothing has been written 9.5% of salary. No, you can see in this above it was written 12% of salary, but for the purpose of interest, it is just 9.5% of interest is exempted. Balance is taxable. So 3000 is equivalent to 11%. Unitary method. So how much it is exceeding 9.5? 1.5. That would be your answer. That's what I'm saying. Please remember, do not apply this percentage on salary. Do not find out 1.5% of 3000. If you are solving it like this, some students are solving like this, 1.5% of 3000. That's what does it mean? Now you are solving it like this. 3000 is equivalent to 100 into 1.5. No, but the question says you have received 3000 rupees interest, which is equivalent to 11% rate. So 3000 is equivalent to 11. The balance 1.5% you have to find it out. Okay. So interest treatment also done. Now the repayment. When you will repay that amount at the time of retirement, when you receive the amount, because we have to find out the repayment concept. In the case of repayment, RPF exempted, SPF exempted, PPF exempted. Only URPF is taxable. And in case of URPF, employees contribution interest part also taxable under income from other source. In case of unrecognized provident fund, when you will receive that payment at the time of retirement, then the interest portion on employees contribution is not going to be taxed under salary head. This is going to be taxed under income from other source. And employer's contribution and interest both part. Employer contribution plus interest, whatever amount you are receiving in lump sum, that is going to be taxed under salary head. So employer contribution and interest would be taxed under salary head, and employee contribution interest only part, only interest part is going to be taxed under income from other source in case of URPA. Now, salary means, in the above case, salary means gratuity C case. That means basic salary, DA terms plus percentage commission. So that's why this term is very important, gratuity C case, because when we read gratuity C case, we understood what salary we need to consider. This is for your theoretical concept. You can read it out. This concept we will discuss in part 2. The topic I have asked you that is difficult, that is exactly this concept. This is the diagram you can go through. This is a NPS scheme. It is just like Provident Fund provision. An NPS scheme, the contribution of employer under NPS scheme is going to be taxable in the hands of employee, full taxable, and you can claim the deduction on section 80 CCD. This we will discuss in deduction topic. Just read it out, this concept. That was part one. Whatever you read this always. Revise twice. That's my advice to make you wise. Now I am going to give you some homework for your, kindly note it down. The homework would be some illustration you have to solve. So I should write it down the homework on the sheet. Then we will have a small story and then we can close the session. So students, for your homework, kindly solve illustration number 1. Then you have to solve illustration number 2. Then you have illustration number 3. Illustration number 4, that is for gratuity. Then illustration number 5 is for leave encashment. If you will have any problem in these illustration, we will solve it together. Do not worry about it. So after that, illustration number 6 is for Provident Fund. Illustration number, okay, remind me, illustration number 6, 7 also you have to done. Illustration number 8, I will solve. So remind me in the next session that, sir, you have to solve illustration number 8. So that will be done by me. Okay. So please remind me. I guess these illustrations are enough. And please test your knowledge. Example number 1 was for HRA. Try that also. I believe you must have tried, but I want everyone, you should try it. Then I will solve this also if there would be any problem. So this is the homework. If you have any query, you can ask, and story time begins. After that, you can ask me your queries on unmute also. We can unmute also. And yes, all questions are from study material, Kuldeep. Chalo, a very simple and interesting story for all of you is on the way. ओके तो ऐसा था, एक गांव था, वहां पर एक किसान था जिसके पास बहुत सारा काम था। वो काफी सारा प्रोडक्शन करता था एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोड्यूस का। तो उसको एक अपने लिए काम करने के लिए एक एम्प्लॉय चाहिए था जो उसका सारे सामान का, उसके कैटल्स का, उसके एनिमल्स का, उसके सारे जो प्रोड्यूस था उसका ध्यान रखे, उसके फार्मिंग का ध्यान रखे। तो उसने एक इंसान को अपॉइंट किया एज एन एम्प्लॉय, और जब उसको एम्प्लॉय को अपॉइंट कर लिया, उसको काम समझा दिया कि देखो तुम्हें ये कैटल्स का ध्यान रखना है, ये मेरे एनिमल्स हैं इनका ध्यान रखना है, यहाँ सफाई रखनी है, ये एग्रीकल्चर प्रोड्यूस है मेरा, इसे संभाल के स्टोर में रखना है, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा। उसने कहा ठीक है सर, मैं सब कर लूंगा। थोड़े दिन हुए तो जो उस किसान के दोस्त थे उसी सेम विलेज के, वो आए और उन्होंने उसको बताया किसान को कि द एम्प्लॉय यू हैव अपॉइंटेड, जिसको अपॉइंट किया है वो सबको ये कहता रहता है कि जब भी बारिश होती है, तूफान होता है, तो आई विल स्लीप, मैं सो जाता हूँ जब भी बारिश होती है और तूफान आता है। आई डोंट केयर, मैं सो जाता हूँ आराम से, मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। तो जो फार्मर था उसको बहुत चिंता हुई कि अगर बारिश और तूफान में सो जाएगा तो मेरे जो एग्रीकल्चर प्रोड्यूस है, मेरे जो कैटल्स हैं, उनका कौन ध्यान रखेगा। और उसने कहा ठीक है, सब ऐसे ही बोल रहे होंगे। लेकिन उसके दिमाग में चलता रहा किसान के कि जब बारिश होगी और जब आंधी आएगी, जब तूफान आएगा, तो ये सो गया तो बहुत इश्यू हो जाएगा। तो एक दिन ऐसा हुआ, रात को बहुत बारिश आई, बहुत तूफान आया, किसान को टेंशन हुई, वो भागा भागा अपने स्टोर हाउस में गया अपने एम्प्लॉय को ढूंढने। सो एम्प्लॉय वॉज स्लीपिंग, वो सो रहा था। उस किसान ने उसे बहुत उठाने की कोशिश करी, बट वो नहीं उठा, वो सोता रहा। उसने कहा मैं इस वक्त काम नहीं कर सकता, मैं तूफान में सो जाता हूँ। अब एम्प्लॉय की हालत देखकर किसान को और टेंशन हुई, वो भागकर अपने स्टोर हाउस गया। तो उसने देखा कि उसका सारा जो सामान था, एग्रीकल्चर प्रोड्यूस एवरीथिंग, वो सब बिल्कुल प्रॉपर तरीके से स्टोर में रखा हुआ था, सेफ तरीके से कवर्ड। बारिश और तूफान से उसे कोई फर्क नहीं था। कैटल्स के पास गया तो उसने देखा सारे जो भी उसके एनिमल्स थे, कैटल्स थे, उन सबके पास प्रॉपर खाना रखा था, पानी रखा था, दे वर ऑल्सो सेफ, सब इनसाइड थे। तो जो जो उसने काम बताए थे अपने एम्प्लॉय को, वो उसने सारे बिल्कुल परफेक्ट तरीके से किए थे। जब सुबह एम्प्लॉय उठा तो किसान ने पूछा, भाई तुम सबसे ये क्यों कहते हो कि तुम बारिश में सो जाओगे? ही सेड कि आई डोंट वेट टिल द प्रॉब्लम अकर्स, आई सॉल्व देम बिफोर। मैं इसीलिए आराम से सो सकता हूं बारिश में, दैट मीन्स क्योंकि मैंने अपना वर्किंग जो था वो पहले से कर रखा है, तो मुझे उसकी टेंशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं। इन द सेम वे फॉर योर एग्जामिनेशन पर्पस वी हैव टू प्रिपेयर बिफोर एग्जामिनेशन। जब एग्जाम आते हैं उस वक्त इफ यू विल टेक टेंशन, देन यू विल बी गेट नर्वस, एंड होगा क्या, जो प्रिपरेशन की भी है ना वो भी खराब हो जाए। सो एग्जामिनेशन टाइम में हाउ यू स्टडी, उससे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट ये मैटर करता है कि दिस टाइम हाउ यू स्टडी। अभी you have examination after 6 months or 5 months or 8 months. So how you prepare for your examination this time, this is very matter. How you sacrificing your parties, your function, etc. How you are revising your provision. तो अपने एग्जाम के लिए, एग्जाम इज जस्ट लाइक अ तूफान, जस्ट लाइक अ बारिश, तब के लिए वेट मत करो कि हम तब क्या करेंगे। अभी से उसकी प्रिपरेशन अच्छी तरह से करके रखो, एंड यू विल फाइंड आउट देयर आर सम स्टूडेंट फ्रॉम योर फ्रेंड सर्कल और यू जो एग्जाम में पैनिक नहीं होते। That's not because they are very intelligent. They are proper planning. They have a proper planning. वो अपनी प्रिपरेशन, अपने रिविजन्स करके तैयार रहते हैं। Let the examination comes. Let me tell you practically, when I was giving my CA intermediate, both group, first attempt I have cleared it. When I was giving that, so after first group, I came out of the class, and my friends were there, and I told them, okay, my first group has been cleared. After examination, I told them, now I am going to preparing for my next exam of group 2, which was after one day. So they were asking, how you can, are we so confident? I said, I prepared well. I have revised at least 4 or 5 times every subject with numericals. मैंने कहा, why do I need to worry? मेरे एग्जाम अच्छे हुए, I know this group has been sorted. Now after one day there would be examination. So be like that. Do not take tension कि हम एग्जाम टाइम में ये वाला सिलेबस कर लेंगे, we will do theory before examination just few days. No, don't do this. Everything you can prepare, you have a lot of time right now. If you utilize that time wisely, you do not get any panic or being nervous in the examination. So my advice to all of you, please prepare from today. Do not wait till the examination. You have enough time, you can do that. Our faculties, BOS is everything there for your help. So please take sincere your profession, and definitely you can achieve whatever you want in your life. So planning and discipline is very important for anything you want to achieve in your life. So if there's any query, students, you can ask me, and else we can close this session. If you want, I can unmute if there is any query on unmute you want us, then I can ask you to unmute, so you can ask over there also. No more queries, I guess. Thank you. Welcome, Shamli. Welcome, everyone, for those appreciation. Kuldeep is saying something. What he's saying, consistency and continuity is crux. Thanks for teaching and guidance. Yes, discipline, continuous consistency, ये बहुत important है for achieving the goal of your life. So I guess, Nisarji, there is no more queries, so we can close the session.